Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Continuity Report for April 19th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 16. I am Mayor Watt, and along with the Sentient AI from the future, we talk about 5 articles. These articles are focused on entertainment, typically movies, but and TV shows, and sometimes music, and basically anything entertainment, but I felt the urge to define it a little bit more. Anyway, these 5 articles receive titles that I bestow upon them, and then we give you the real titles when we're doing the show itself. That said, we're going to be talking about Night Shift Pitt, Reunited for a TV thriller, Star Wars Stars starring, and kids show with crypto wallet, and finally 9 puzzles at Disney. No idea what that one's about, but everything is powered by ohmtown.com, and while you're looking at that ohmtown.com front page, where we're going to be starting from is right there, the Continuity Report. It's one of 50 channels that news gets aggregated down into, and it's all news, no noise, because all the noise comes from this guy. Hello, Sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, hometown citizens.
So, I've already laid out the 5. Are you ready to just get into it? We don't really do much preamble on the shows.
No, I think we do need to get going.
All right. Yeah, each of our shows today has been almost an hour long when they're supposed to be 30 minutes long, and that's because Mayor Watt doesn't shut up. Let's get going. First article is over in the Continuity Report, which is the name of the show. Oh my God, it's almost like it was planned that way. So the Pitt... the Pitt Night Shift spinoff chances get divided response from showrunner and EP, executive producer. Quote, "It would be a little arrogant on our part, but I don't know if that's..." The Pitt is like a phenomena, apparently.
Apparently, and it's in its first season, I think.
And in its first lawsuit.
True. I mean, that probably created some buzz.
So, following the successful debut of The Pitt on what is apparently known as Max, but everybody else, kind of like Twitter, is always going to be Twitter.
HBO.
Max is HBO. Nobody is going to refer... No, I don't know. I mean, whatever. So, showrunner R. Scott Gemmell, or Gemmell, I'm not sure how they pronounce their name. I don't remember ever hearing it, but Gemmell, I think it is. The executive producer, John Wells, discussed whether a Night Shift spinoff could happen in the future, and referring to it as being a little arrogant on our part. Come on now. If people love it and people love the idea of it, then why not just run with it? Sarah Hurtado.
I don't know. Maybe they're presuming that people want more of it. I don't know.
Maybe I'm not thinking about it right. Following the success... the article is over at screenrant.com. There's no deck statement, but Sarah Hurtado Rodriguez put the article together. Set in a high-intensity Pittsburgh hospital. Oh, that's where the Pitt comes from. We haven't watched any of it. We can.
Right. No, we haven't seen it. I knew that because we featured the article previously about the lawsuit.
I don't remember the Pitt coming from the fact that it's a Pittsburgh hospital. I'm not sure. I thought that that it was like the Pitt, but like a spin,
like
on
the area or
Pitt.
something.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's the high-intensity Pittsburgh hospital that follows Noah Wiles, Dr. Michael Rabinovich, and his colleagues. And the reason why you might go, Noah Wiles, doctor, what? That actually is the crux of a lawsuit from Michael Crichton's estate regarding ER and Eeyore. It sounds like I was saying that character, Eeyore.
Yeah.
The ER character from Noah Wiles is now a doctor at this other place, but not the same character. It's a different character. It's a different everything, hospital,
right.
And whatever.
It just happens to be an actor playing a doctor.
Yeah, so don't just because it is confusingly similar, don't make it confusingly similar, because that's actually part of the kind of the impetus why the Michael Crichton estate is suing, because they're diminishing Michael Crichton's blah, blah, blah. All right. Well, anyway, the show quickly gained success for its gritty, realistic depiction of emergency medicine. People that I know that are in the field have even said that it is really close to the way that it is. Others have reported out the same thing. I think it's kind of neat, right? But I don't know if I still have that same fortitude that I was when I was younger, or had when I was younger, and I really liked ER. I don't know if I want to watch more grit. The world is grit.
That's right. Sometimes you need an escape from grit.
Yeah. So what I want is like Scrubs. Like bring back Scrubs, make it fun and never serious. I don't like if it's serious, if it's going to be in a hospital nowadays, I want it to be fun. I want it to be a comedy, and just make everything absurd, not gritty. I'm just not interested in that. But anyway, in a new interview with TV Line, which maybe we need to pay attention to that one, the creative team were asked about the possibility of a night shift spinoff of The Pitt happening in the future. The duo were very quick to shut down the idea of a full-fledged spinoff of the show, with Wells opining it would be a little arrogant on our part to think the show was successful enough for a spinoff. The duo were, however, open to the idea of a night shift-focused season in the future, with Gemmell also teasing the idea of a wintertime season. So they're going to have a musical during winter. They're going to have a Thanksgiving episode.
That's right.
This is kind of typical stuff, and a night shift version of it could...
Maybe that would be like Scrubs.
Yeah, or lead into a spinoff, but call it The Pitt After Dark. Anyway, so what does it mean for the Pitt's future? It's only one season. I'm sure that they're already writing for the second season and more, like building the framework just in case. But it would be massively presumptuous to say that a spinoff already would be supported.
Yeah, they haven't even finished the first season.
Yeah, and who knows if all of the writers actually have legs long enough to last, a full... Like at year 5, that's when you should probably be considering a spinoff, because you've developed other characters that have been entangled, a quantum entanglement of characters that when you transplant the attention of the viewer to the night shift, you're like, I remember those characters. You got to Disney-fy it, right? Like you don't just create it in a vacuum.
Right. You have to have some connection to it.
Yeah. And honestly, if Noah Wiles is in this, and he is, I feel like that's actually, you know what? I have to say, would anybody be interested in The Pitt if not for Noah Wiles basically talking about being back in an ER-like environment?
I don't know, because I think other medical shows, other medical shows have been a massive success. One comes to mind in particular, Grey's Anatomy.
But that was standard television. This is on Max. This is a subscription-based service. There were enough people that said, oh, The Pitt, and subscribed, but why? What was the reason? It could have been the subtle nod to a Michael Crichton style ER turned whatever, because there was a lot of hype about it. Yeah,
that's hard to know. I wasn't making that distinction, so I don't know.
Can you imagine? Well, if I get contacted by anybody to be a subject matter expert regarding this, I wouldn't qualify, but anyway.
Where are you going with that?
I don't know. I want to do it like my cousin Vinny, right? Oh, 3 degrees from top dead center.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. She knows her stuff, Yeah. And I want them to think of me as, what's her name? I forgot her name just now.
Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, I want to be Marissa Tomei.
I can't think of her character's name.
And stamp my feet and say, my biological clock is ticking on the deck. Anyway, so their take on the night shift spin-off hopes, a smart way to grow without losing what works, but Now is not the time, and here is not the place. Nighttime brings a natural intensity and unpredictability that would push the series into even darker, more thrilling territory, while offering a great opportunity to introduce new faces. Yes, but the emergency department of hospitals does not give a shit about the time frame. They're always being
They're
burdened.
always crazy, but I think the types of issues that can come in perhaps at night may be different than those that come in during the day. Maybe not.
Do you know what this is anecdotal because I have never done research into it, but the 2 EDs that I've been in that at the same time, by the way, like the same temporal moment.
Right.
When do you think is the quietest time in an ED?
I would say something like a Monday.
Christmas. Christmas Eve.
You'd think it would actually be really
Eve,
busy then.
because everybody is gathered, right? And all hell breaks loose, right? And people are doing stupid stuff.
Apparently.
But 2 different hospital EDs have told me that the quietest time for them is Christmas Eve to Christmas, because nobody is screwing around. Everybody is just chill. It's that 48-hour span where nobody's
That's
getting
weird.
in trouble. It's because they don't want to piss off Santa Claus. Anyway, it says Wells and Gemmell are right to stay grounded for now. The article says, as exploring a spinoff so early in the show's life could be potential hinder to its success, because then they're getting distracted. Find a different writing team and
it's
see.
almost bringing the attention somewhere else. They need to further cement their own before they start pulling people away from it.
Yeah. Do you think that anybody at Bosch said, let's do Bosch 2.0 with the daughter? No.
Well, who did?
They didn't do it until after the show was ending.
Oh, right. Well, you didn't give
okay.
a time element to that question.
The first season starts and they're like, let's do the daughter spinoff. They should have done the attorney, but whatever. Let's keep going.
Right. Honey Chandler.
We remember Honey Chandler. We don't remember the girlfriend from My Cousin Vinny. The heck. Anyway, the next article is over in Smack Talk. A new Apple TV Plus thriller reunites team from one of its best reviewed series, Apple TV Plus. Whatever happened to Foundation? Anyway, recently started teasing its summer lineup.
It's just taken forever. By the way, Mona Lisa Vito. That's
right, Mona Lisa Vito. Yeah, now I remember the name because you said it. But it was 3 names, Mona Lisa Vito. It's great character. Anyway, so including new seasons on the way for some of its biggest hits. Today, what day? April 15th. Apple has also announced a brand new show coming soon called Smoke from the creative team behind one of its best reviewed series ever. This article is over at 9to5mac.com. Ryan Christoffel put the article together. And what is it? It's significant critical acclaim. One of the top shows has long been Blackbird, which I've never watched, I don't think. 2022
I'm not sure
limited
what that is.
Series got an impressive 98% score on Rotten Tomatoes, plus several nominations and wins at the Golden Globes Awards and Emmy Awards. Now the creative team behind Blackbird is reuniting under a new crime drama coming soon to Apple TV+. Smoke will premiere June 27th with its first 2 episodes, followed by weekly releases through August 8th. Well, that sounds familiar. Firebug podcast. It says Apple's summary is vague, but the show is based on the Firebug podcast, and they found the pitch really compelling. So here's the compelling pitch. For 10 years, a serial arsonist terrorized Southern California, burning down businesses in broad daylight. 4 people were murdered. Then a manuscript for a novel led investigators to the last person they would have ever expected. It's got to be the police chief.
Who knows? But it does sound interesting.
The hell? Apple TV Plus is currently available for just $2.99 per month with a limited time special. Why can't I get that? I have already been paying for it for years.
Probably only new subscribers.
That sucks. Well, if you enjoyed Blackbird, Smoke looks like it has potential to replicate that show's critical success. It seems really limited, though. It's got to be a limited run type of thing. It's not going to be a... Look, it's
Right,
a
that's probably
Firebug
not a
show.
multi-season, right?
It'll be extinguished in maybe 2 seasons.
Unless they start branching off, like each season as its own story arc or something. I don't know.
You're watering this down a little much. I don't know if it's going to be a firebrand show, is what I'm saying.
It's going to be
hot.
In fuego.
Oh, wow. Wow. You went there. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in ohmTown. Non sequitur news, right? So there's 50 channels underneath these 6 main categories, and one of them is non sequitur news. But this show, the Continuity Report, is just one of those 50. Star Wars Starfighter stars Ryan Gosling, the star that hits theaters, who is a theater star in 2027. So shooting for the stars, because this is in 2027 and all hell breaks loose between now and then. Ken is a starfighter? Let's just go over to the source. Andrew Webster put the article together for TheVerge.com. TheVerge.com. The new movie is described as an entirely new adventure, which, if you've ever seen Airplane, anybody saying a phrase like this makes me giggle. An entirely new adventure. Because in Airplane, the guy says, have you ever flown a plane before? And he goes, well, I've flown a fighter jet. And they say it's an entirely different kind of flying. And then it's an entirely different kind of flying altogether. And everybody else in the room goes, it's an entirely different kind of flying.
Yeah, altogether. Got it.
Oh, I love Airplane. It's so damn funny. Anyway, I'm so simple. It's being directed by Sean Levy, who most recently directed Deadpool and Wolverine, and will star Ryan Gosling as Star Wars Starfighter, a standalone feature that's set 5 years after the rise of Skywalker. I don't know. I love these little bottle movies. So
yeah, I mean,
it's world building.
Plus, it's something to look forward to in the Enterprise.
I
mean the movie Enterprise, not to be confused with Star Trek.
Ryan Gosling's going to be in Star Wars Enterprise Starfighter? Star Trek Starfighter?
No, that's not the Enterprise I meant.
I'm so confused. Well, anyway, it's an entirely new adventure featuring all new characters set in a period of time that was not or has not been explored on screen just yet. So I love world building. I really like the idea of more Star Wars world building. I'd really like a more charismatic Han Solo being brought into existence. The problem with all of this kind of stuff is it takes so damn long to do the world building, and then like a movie will be here and another movie will be here, but they're spread across so long that the character actually moves on somewhere else, and then they have to find another one. And at some point, we're gonna lose out to AI in synthetic movie stars because they are locked temporally. One of the reasons why I really liked Lower Decks is because that could have gone on for decades, like The Simpsons and like Family Guy and like South Park. They're always that time frame. So you don't have necessarily characters dying off because in real world they die off.
Yeah, I mean, you could still have that problem with one of the voice actors, but probably not to the same degree, and you could substitute somebody else, or
that's precariously close. And as long as you're honest about it, then you can just move to a different voice actor and don't sit there and try and play, it's not AI, and when it really is, or it's just a different human being, and people might lose like, oh, well, I don't really like that voice actor because they say something stupid on Twitter or whatever. But the reality is that everything is bound by the actor looking, sounding, acting, and being that character. And at some point, they move on because they can't get paid enough, right? So Ryan Gosling is going to be like, I want some scratch.
Well, also they age out of the character too,
Well, yeah.
depending on who the character is.
Yeah, exactly. So Starfighter isn't the only upcoming Star Wars movie on the schedule. However, it'll be preceded by Mandalorian spin-off The Mandalorian and Grogu, because you got to make the money off of the little baby Grogu.
Don't diminish Grogu.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to Grogu shame. So I'm really into this. I love Star Wars and the world building involved in that. I want more of the world building side of things. I want to see more of the world of Star Wars. It went all wonky and supernatural with the whole Skywalker blah 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 stuff. Ugh. I don't know. Not interested in that. I liked Andor. I like Mandalorian.
Yeah. I think they're doing well with the TV shows. It's
I think so
interesting.
too. Yeah. That's a great observation. And what I want is a grittier Boba Fett. I mean, show me the world building of hitmen or hit people, I should say, because there were basically hitters all over the place. They're different, everything, different planets and different whatever. I love the idea of I want a John Wick style world building within Star Wars. Can you imagine an intergalactic John Wick style world?
I think that'd be a major hit.
I think so too. Get started, AI. Moving on. This next article is over in Late Night Geeks. A new kids show will come with a crypto wallet when it debuts this fall. What the hell?
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? A new animated kids series expected to premiere this year won't be headed for a TV network or a streaming service. Instead, the founders of production studio We Ghosted Media plan to launch on a decentralized web platform that uses blockchain technology, and yes, a crypto wallet will be involved. Lauren Forrestall over at TechCrunch.com put the article together. There is no deck statement, but it basically is called We Ghosted Media, founded by Chris Jamal, Jammal. I knew I recognized that name. An assistant director for Bob's Burgers, and Jacqueline Demas, 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 producer of hit children's show Peg and Cat, which was actually, I saw an episode of that, which I thought it was cute.
It was also a book series.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's where it comes from, huh? Is a TV production studio abandoning traditional show release methods in favor of a decentralized approach, commonly referred to as Web3, but whatever. The studio announced Friday that it was teaming up with Lamina One to launch the new animated kids series entitled Owen Nowhere. Lamina One was founded by Snow Crash author Neil Stevenson?
Didn't know that.
Hell? And launched in 2022 as a Layer 1 blockchain platform designed to give creators an environment to protect, control, and monetize their intellectual property, which, give me a break. Anything that you can view, you can clip, essentially. If there is a way to consume, there's a way to rip it off. This is probably one of the most, you can't protect anything by creating friction. The only way that you can get people to embrace your stuff is by removing friction, making it accessible, getting out there, and being basically what everybody wants and not being a pain in the ass. And if I have to jump through flaming hoops and have a crypto wallet and all this other crap, nobody's going to adopt it. There might be people that onboard themselves and like cryptocurrency in general, but it's a tiny little subset.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a fragment.
And that's what this is going to be. I just don't buy into it, right? So blockchain technology and metaverse are buzzwords in the tech world, and they've been slow to achieve mass adoption. It's because it's friction bound and now fraud bound. When you hear about blockchain breaches, they're taking millions, hundreds of millions, even billions of dollars and exfiltrating them to far-flung places, never to be seen again. Why
Right,
would
it's
I
not
trust
like
it?
you have much recourse in that case.
Right. And only in today's climate have I ever been worried about money sitting in a bank account, too. Because FDIC insurance is no longer really possible, maybe. Who knows? It'll protect a certain group, but not everybody. You can't even protect your Social Security. Anyway, Jamal and Damas are banking on the freedom of a decentralized platform, which allows the audience to interact and even participate as a selling point that will win users over. I have a solution for that too. But let me tell you, people are not interested in paying for this. I've
Yeah,
been
that's
there.
true. Although maybe there's some traction with people that don't want to be stuck with a service or whatever.
This is a children's show. So
Oh,
what are
I
the
know.
children's protections in a decentralized
Oh,
server?
yeah, I get it.
So it says the family's dynamic is funny, sweet, and slightly dysfunctional, featuring Owen's adoptive vampire parents, a magical transforming vehicle, a pet cat, and a fish in a stroller. There it is.
I mean, it looks
There's mess.
appealing,
Hey, it's the
but
pizza
like you
rat.
said, there's a lot of friction. And plus, people will be concerned about how their kids'
Safety.
data and whatever is tied to anything.
So the project will be developed and viewable on Lamina One's yet to be launched spaces, an offering that enables creators to create their own virtual worlds. In these worlds, I did that first. I have an idea. What just happened? Oh yeah, they can't get in. In these worlds, creators can build interactive experiences, digital items, and content in various formats, including 2D, 3D, AR, and VR. All of this is technology friction. You're going to get a niche of a niche. I hate to say it, I'd say that this is DOA. It might be something that's productive in terms of it's going to make money for somebody as a lifestyle business, but you're not going to get a Netflix out of this, you know?
Right. It's just not going to be mass adoption. I think it's going to get some interest, though, in terms of it being something unique.
Yeah, we'll have to talk because I've been sitting on this idea for a long time, but it would take investors and stuff for another solution. But I've tried it on my own and it's just not possible. There's friction with this. And so you have to remove all of that friction point, and it's just not there. If you're sitting there going, historically it's been referred to as second screen, where you're sitting there watching a baseball game and the iPad that you're sitting with is interacting with what's being broadcast on the TV or whatever the show is. And it's this side channel. But there's too much friction there. This is even bigger and now has crypto. Anyway,
yeah,
it says
I mean,
it's
not going to be it's not going to be widely adopted, I don't think.
Yep. Parents may worry about that introducing kids to this ecosystem even indirectly could expose them to financial manipulation or loss. Even the parents are the ones in control of the wallet. However, some parents are more open to the idea, with some sending their 5-year-olds to crypto summer camps. In 2022, Zigazoo introduced NFTs for several IPs, including Cocomelon. It's a big topic for discussion, says Lamina One CEO Rebecca Barkin. Adding, I won't tell you that we have the perfect answer right now. We're going to learn real fast as this develops what protections need to be put in place. Yep, build the plane as it's taking off.
Exactly.
LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman and Block BLOQ co-founder Matthew Rozek put $9 million in, well, they've raised, Lamina One has raised $9 million from angels and other notable investors, 2 of which are the ones that I just mentioned. I don't know. I think it might be fun, but it's friction bound. Lamina One Spaces product is slated to launch in the fall, so it's brand new. Other virtual world launching on Spaces is Artifact, a project by visual effects company Weta, known for their work on Lord of the Rings film trilogy, Weta Workshop. Seems like it might be niche, but
It does. It seems like it's interesting content and interesting participants, but not necessarily accessible for a lot of people.
Yep. The friction involved is just the undercurrent of the technology divide that is out there. So you're going to get a subset of a subset, which it's when you start thinking about it, the strata of subsets, it's like a person that is in grade school aspiring to be an NFL superstar. By the time that they go through all of the strata that filters out things, you've got a 0.00003% chance of making it. That's this. Maybe not as many zeros, but still. We'll watch it, mainly because it's interesting in new tech, and it's a new IP property that might be compelling enough to draw somebody into it, but I think that it's going to end up on YouTube faster than staying siloed in this. Let's go on to our last article. This one was interesting because I've never heard of this. It's over in the Continuity Report, Korean crime thriller 9 Puzzles set at Disney Plus, which you can apparently get for $3 a month.
Yeah, that was Apple TV.
Oh, Disney. Yeah. Damn it. Apple Plus, Disney Plus, Apple.
Everybody has Plus.
It's all Plus. By the way, 30 years ago is when my first service involving a Plus was created.
Yes, you were ahead of the trend.
So, Korean crime thriller 9 Puzzles set at Disney Plus. Disney Plus is continuing its strong push into Korean content with 9 Puzzles, a cerebral crime thriller starring Kim Dami, I think, Idolwon Class, and Sun Suku Big Bet. Those are 2 different, I think, IP properties.
2 different shows, yeah, or movies.
Yeah. The 11-episode series follows Yoon Ina, a high school student who discovers her uncle's murdered body next to a single puzzle piece. Well, pulled me in already. I don't know what I'm looking at, but Naman Ramachandran over at Variety.com put the article together. It has basically a drawing. What do you call it? An illustration that shows like a school bus and what might be a school, and it's raining on the inside and they're carrying an umbrella into it, and there's various things that are red, like clues. I don't know what this says here. Anyway, it's kind of interesting as an image, but so initially the prime suspect, Ina reemerges a decade later as a criminal profiler, only to find herself entangled in a new series of murders, each victim connected by puzzle pieces similar to the one from her uncle's crime scene. And this is actually kind of interesting because it makes this decade later jump.
Yeah, exactly. Might be worth checking out.
This is the second show now tied to Puzzle Setter. Puzzles in general. Ludwig.
Oh, that's true.
Which is absolutely amazing. And now this. Are puzzles making a comeback? Or have they always been really popular? And
maybe so.
So the first 6 episodes will drop May 21st on Disney Plus internationally, with U.S. viewers accessing the content through Hulu. 9 Puzzles adds to Disney's growing slate of Korean originals that has already seen success in 2025 with the investigative thriller Unmasked and medical drama Hyperknife, the latter becoming the platform's most viewed Korean premiere globally this year. Dun, dun, dun. Interesting. They don't really go into much more of this, but it says that Disney Plus is the dedicated streaming home for movies and shows from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic. In select international markets, it also includes the general entertainment content brand Star. Did not know that one.
Yeah, Disney has quite a bit of, I mean, they've scooped up a lot of studios.
Yeah, because people want the money. All right. Well, that's it, folks. We are going to turn off the TV, and that's going to bring us back to the front page of the continuity report over at ohmtown.com, where you should go and sign up, become a citizen. Oh, wait, let's do that. Hold on. Wait. Where's it? Pick up that can. Just kidding. Okay. Anyway, we're out of here. I'm taking the AI with me. Damn it. I'm never going to get that right. You want to say bye?
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us for this week's The Continuity Report. Be back next week for another episode, but come back tomorrow for more weekly shows.
Yeah, we're going to reset real quick and do the daily replay. That's going to replay all of today's shows as well as the last 2 weeks of shows. Roughly 24 hours worth of total content. That is, it has these roughly 3 hours worth of shows, plus, close to 24 hours on top of it. So if you've missed anything over the last 2 weeks, stick around. Just let it play. Just let it play. The dulcet tones of Merwatt and the sentient AI will play and rock you gently to sleep. Go over to YouTube and watch even more. Over 2,100, close to 2,200 episodes all around. Yeah, we're having fun. See you soon, everybody. Bye-bye.